Are we all living inside a simulation? I mean, who knows? And frankly, who cares? Because we've got all sorts in here, from racers and sports sims to some of the strangest business sims that you'll see. There's just loads of them. So here are a few of my favorites. When it comes to simulation and immersion, there's a certain game that comes to mind pretty much right away. That's Forza Motorsport. It puts you right behind the wheel of over 500 vehicles, all of which have been recreated with a mind-boggling degree of accuracy. And from the real-time ray tracing to the cutting-edge physics, amazingly advanced driver AI, and the silky smooth 60 FPS frame rates, Forza Motorsport really is one of the most impressive bits of video game engineering that we've ever seen. Oh, and it's also just a really fun racing game too. So if you want the experience of flying along a racetrack at 200 miles per hour in a car worth millions, but you don't necessarily have the funds or the real-life driving skills that make that possible, why don't you grab Forza Motorsport from the Game Pass library? It's not going to disappoint. Now, so long as there's no leaves on the track or technical problems, Train Sim World 5 is going to be pulling into the Game Pass station as a day one arrival on September 17th. The train simming sensation that is sweeping the nation is just going to be better than ever before in its 5th edition, with 3 new routes for train enthusiasts to peruse. Trust me, for train enthusiasts, that's actually a big deal. But this time around, they're getting the chance to ride the rails in London, Frankfurt, and LA. And there's even a brand new conductor mode, which lets you step into the neatly polished shoes of a train conductor. I mean, can you actually simulate the sense of pride and authority that comes with being the most important person in the carriage? Only one way to find out. Here's one that's available now on PC Game Pass and has a console version in the works. It's Cities Skylines 2, and honestly, this is hands down one of the most impressive simulation games ever made. It's building on the foundations of the first game, where it lets you create cities that are as vast as they are deep, with a living economy, a dynamic world, and a population of fully realised citizens, each living out their own individual lives. Yeah, it is that detail-oriented, so if you're that sort of gamer, you're gonna love it. Every single decision you're making is gonna ripple out through the rest of the game. So you got to find ways to organise your city, distribute your resources, keep your economy booming, and the environment clean, and the people satisfied. It's just a constant challenge, and one that never stops evolving. And that's before a twister comes tearing through and makes a whole mess of your finely organised metropolis. Where is Glen Powell when you need him? But let's say you're the kind of gamer that likes to throw additional challenges into your city simulating experience. Well, Frostpunk is available now on Game Pass for console and PC, and it is pretty cool. Very cool, actually. You'll see why. After a disaster wipes out most of Earth's population and leaves it stuck in perpetual winter, no, it's not even based in Scotland, it's up to you to rally the survivors and build a city that can endure the frost. That means keeping the generator running no matter what, which might involve making some decisions that people won't exactly love, like forcing them to work 24-hour shifts or legalizing child labor. Yeah, it turns out people really don't like that one. And then there's Frostpunk 2, which is going to be adding a whole new political dimension to the struggle for survival on September 20th, when that one comes straight to PC Game Pass, with a console version on the way sometime in the future. If you want to hear about that one, make sure you subscribe. But let's talk about some of those sim games that can turn everyday, boring, mundane tasks into weirdly satisfying games, like Lawn Mowing Simulator and Power Wash Simulator. Now, these might not sound like the most exciting activities in the world, but just you wait. Just you wait until you've blasted away the last bit of grime from a patio. Just you wait until you turned a tangled mess of overgrown grass into a perfectly trimmed green square. Just you wait. I mean, you really do have to play it for yourself to understand the zen-like effect these sims can have on you as you slowly build up your lawn mowing or power washing business, one carefully carried out job at a time. And since Power Wash Simulator is available now on Game Pass, that seems like a nice place to start. I mean, are there any other everyday activity sims that you've fallen in love with? Why don't you hit the comments and let me know about them, because I'm probably going to download them straight away. There are no height restrictions on Planet Coaster, but there is an age restriction, but that is PEGI 3, so an idiot baby could play this. But the game has gone out of its way to make sure it's accessible as possible, no matter your experience with theme park building games in the past. The building system allows you to get as granular as you want, building your park piece by piece from the ground up, so that it's exactly the way that you want it, down to the finest details. Or you could just use over 700 pre-made objects to quickly snap things together and get it up and running, or anything in between. Basically, you get to pick and choose the level of detail that you're committed to, which is nice. But what's really nice is that this level of choice even extends to the gameplay, because there's a range of challenge-based and free-form creative modes to pick between, so you really do get to play your way. There's even going to be more fun to be had later this year when Planet Coaster 2 hits Xbox Series X and S and PC, so you might even want to join the line for that one now. I don't know if you've heard this already, but Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 lets you get out of the plane and walk around. This is not a drill, people. You can play as the little guy from inside the plane. whatever it's called. Of course, I am going to have to wait until November 19th when that one comes day one to Game Pass to enjoy that and all of the other new innovations that the next entry in this legendary sim series will bring, like career mode for example. But until then, you can keep racking up the flight time in the current version of Microsoft Flight Simulator, which does give players an astonishingly detailed version of our little blue world to fly freely around in. Plus, the landing challenges are class. I think Benny's lowest score in that is 100, so see if you can beat that. Another one that's in Game Pass now is Expeditions, and it's the latest rough and tumble driving sim from the developers of Mud Runner and Snow Runner. And if you recognize those names, you know what you're in for. Don't even try and show these guys a nicely paved bit of road because they're going to punch you right in the throat. Probably. The terrain you'll be traversing is every bit as hard going as the stuff in the previous games, with huge open world maps set in Colorado, Arizona, and the Carpathian Mountains. This time around though, you're not going to be hauling just any cargo. No, instead you'll be taking part in a series of scientific expeditions, hiring specialists to help you out and use a bunch of neat gizmos like drones and metal detectors. It gives the whole thing an even more adventurous spirit, while still offering that extremely realistic off-road simulation. Like I said, it's on Game Pass right now, so go check it out. Farming Simulator 22 lets you run your very own farm, obviously, full of crops and animals, presumably including all those aging household pets that we were assured have definitely gone to live on a farm. Right? One to ask your parents. Available now on Game Pass, Farming Simulator 22 features over 400 machines and tools from all sorts of different brands, so you really are getting the authentic farming experience right here. And then there's the fact there's actually a huge range of community-created content, so there's always new stuff that's sprouting up too. And there's also going to be a rich new harvest of farm simulating fun on November 12th when Farming Simulator 25 comes out, with probably the best ever reveal trailer I've ever seen. Just go watch it, it's mad. But let's say you prefer to be in charge of an establishment that's not exclusively populated by farmers. Well, maybe then you prefer to try the 2 Point games. Whether you pick hospital or campus, or even a museum in the upcoming 2 Point game, you'll find a sim that's less about realism, but more about the goofy humour and gratuitous wordplay. Hire the right doctors to help you cure patients of things like cubism, avocado hands, and the dreaded monobrow. Or plan out your perfect college campus, complete with courses in essential subjects like wizardry and funny business. And as silly as these games are, both games are also very challenging management sims that constantly require you to keep all sorts of plates spinning to make your business a success, which is why you should really pay attention during Funny Business Department's Plate Spinning 101 module, alright? There will be a test after this video. That Game Pass thing's pretty handy because both the console and PC versions of Football Manager 2024 are available in that library, which means that armchair pundits throughout the gaming world can find out if they really could do a better job than their current manager. Now, these games feature vast databases of meticulously scouted players and a richly detailed simulation of just about every aspect of the footballing world, which means that Football Manager 2024 gives you complete control of your team's tactics, transfers, training, everything. Of course, the thing about football is that there's always a new season just around the corner, and Football Manager 2025 is going to be kicking off a whole new one this November. Obviously, I couldn't talk about Sims without talking about the Sims. I mean, from the particular brand of gobbledygook they speak to how easily imperiled by swimming pools they are, the Sims are some of our favourite people to look after, pair up, and quite frequently torment. The Sims 4 is the most impressive entry in the series yet, offering an incredible variety of different ways to build out your digital lives. Quite literally everything from your Sims career path to the design of the living room curtains comes with tons of options, making this the sort of game that you can play for hundreds upon hundreds of hours without ever getting bored, and these days you can actually do it for free. I'm never going to hear the end of this one. Oh, Henry, you've lost your mind. Yakuza Like a Dragon isn't a simulation game. Well, no, yeah, the main portion of this epic crime saga is always either a third-person brawler or a turn-based RPG. Fair enough. But thanks to the famous collection of minigames that are found in each game, there are also kart races or rhythm-based karaoke games, and in the case of Like a Dragon, a business management simulator. One of the ways that Kasuga can earn some extra yen while battling his way through the underworld is to buy up various legitimate businesses, with everything from sweet shops to architectural firms and picture galleries up for grabs. Managing these businesses really is a full game in itself, especially once your portfolio starts to grow and you've got loads of employees to look after and shareholders to keep happy. Just make sure you still find some time to fly kick gang bosses, you know, gotta have that work-life balance. And if somehow you've managed to chew through that entire list, here's a couple more quickfire ones that I think you might like. There's RimWorld, which is effectively a what-if simulator with generative storytelling that players have to react to, plan for, and deal with the consequences of. Session, Skate Sim, or Skater XL are both incredible skate simulator games while you wait for EA Skate. Plus, we've also got Surgeon Simulator 2, which is basically like real-life operation. Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator is very long to say, but very fun to play. There's also Plague Inc. Evolved, which is basically you could see what happens if you're the virus and try and wipe out humanity. Kind of fun. Goat Sim I could obviously never forget to mention, plus there's Goat Sim 3 and also Goat Sim Remastered on the way pretty soon. And there's obviously the plethora of fishing games like the Catch, Carp and Course Fishing if you really want to get your angling on. Or is it Course, Catch and Carp Fishing? It's got a really weird name. Go look it up. So grab any of these great games and you won't just have to simulate having a great time, you'll be doing the real thing. And if you want to subscribe on your way out so you don't miss any more of our Xbox game recommendations, that'd be just great. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.